Previously on Oddjobs. Jassifer found herself drifting into oblivion until a voice spoke to her, giving her ego an anchor long enough to express disappointment in her story. By sheer force of will, Jass dragged her consciousness back together to speak to this voice who offered her a chance to rewrite her tale, a chance Jass accepted without hesitation. She suddenly found herself waking, resurrected by an albino rabbit folk, her allies and the phylactery long gone. This rabbit folk, Clover Cottonbottom, worked for an adventuring company called Oddjobs, tasked with reviving Jass, all for the low cost of 69,690 gold and 69 cents, with an interest rate of 10% per month left unpaid. The two teamed up, venturing into the dungeon Jass had just delved into almost immediately to die to a basic trap. After a quick rest and some empathy, which Jassifer was deeply uncomfortable with, the two continued to travel through the dungeon, finding their way to an abandoned jail. Here, Jass remembered having to leave people behind and the promises she made to come back, saddened by yet another failure. That reflection was interrupted, however, by a ghastly man emerging from the ether. And that's where we are right now. As you take a breath, ready yourself, and look back towards Clover, having said that, you see, reaching from behind her, materializing out of thin air, this horrifying, ghastly man, jaw removed, blood staining his white appearance as he reaches out for her.
Behind you.
I need you to roll initiative. But I'll say you can actually roll with advantage here.
I can't really roll any better, Noah, because I rolled a nat 20. Plus my initiative bonus of 4.
And guess what, gang? We have instituted crit rules this campaign. A nat 20 is a natural and perfect best case scenario success.
I'm
and a nat 1 is,
on
of
their
course,
asses.
a huge failure. But right now it's a success. And your ally Clover actually rolled a 19. She ties initiative with you. With your warning, it's like time slows, and you watch this small rabbit folk begin to move faster than you could have expected. She has very quick, very, very fast reflexes, but you are actually going to act first, considering she's just like turning and dodging at this moment. What do you do?
I shove my bundle of arrows into the ghost's opening maw.
It's just like, and you just like jump
over Clover's shoulder, just right in its mouth.
Okay, go ahead and roll an attack. I'm gonna say that this is like your unarmed strike, but there will be a bonus to damage.
That's an 18 to hit.
18 indeed hits. I'm gonna have you roll, I'm gonna say 1d6 plus your dexterity.
That's gonna be 8 damage with the strapped together bundle of pointy arrows.
You shove this like this clutch of arrows into this ghoul's mouth.
It's like a bouquet.
It's just like immediately just like
it works.
choking on that. Just Clover is like, horrified, backing up. Oh my gods! Oh my gods!
That could kill someone. I say this with glee.
That is your action. You have a bonus action, movement, anything else you want to do on your turn.
Yeah. I forgot that I only have one attack now.
That is the only attack, but
I will then do Nimble Escape. I'll take the disengage as a bonus action on my turn and back up from the specter as far as I can, which is 20 feet.
You back up 20 feet, kind of scrambling back.
Towards Clover, I think, so that we're like a unit.
Yeah, you kind of like almost pull her with you, forcing her movement, which means that this creature obviously does not get a opportunity attack. You cling to the bars, kind of holding yourself up and back. Still a little woozy on your feet, but now you're back in your element. It is her turn.
You don't have a bundle of arrows, do you, in there?
Fresh out. I'm afraid I gave you my only weapon, which is a slingshot.
Oh no, that was her only weapon.
All right.
As an object interaction, can I shove it into her hands and say, okay, here you go?
I'm going to say that it's currently in the mouth of the ghoul, though you have access to it, essentially.
The slingshot.
Oh, the slingshot.
Yeah.
You shove the slingshot into her hands. You know, I don't like to choose violence, if I'm being honest.
Now. Choose it now.
She like pulls back with it and goes, hang on, I haven't practiced much with this. And then the ball just like falls out of it. She goes, oh, hold on, and like reaches down for it. She is unable to attack on this round as she rolls a 3.
There is that old familiar flare of irritation inside of me, and I start to feel a little bit more like myself.
I'm sorry. Listen, maybe you could do better with it. And as like this ghoul reaches for her, she like throws back the slingshot, and she's gonna give you a bardic.
Ooh.
And that is a D6.
Beautiful.
It is now this ghoul's turn. You watch as it still got this like bundle of arrows in its mouth. It's like stumbles towards you guys and kind of leaps forward and like with these horrible like dripping claws tries to dig into Clover. That is only a 12 to hit, which is exactly her armor class. It sinks into her, goes, and you see there's like this pale sort of like pulse through her. You see her eyes grow a little unfocused. You recognize this is similar to that like life-draining energy that you faced in the final battle with the Lich Lord. You realize that his magic, as you had said, doesn't just vanish even if he is gone. She has to roll a con save. Only a 10, but she had to pass a DC 10 con save to succeed.
Yay,
she avoids paralysis. As you see, she looks weakened but does not falter. I can't go down like this. I got kids back home. She is going to kind of push away, and it is now your turn again.
Seeing Clover's eyes and her skin go kind of grayish, or her fur, I guess. I will try and take a pot shot at this ghoul with the slingshot that she just shoved in my hands.
You reload one of the rocks, aim for this creature as it tries to tear into Clover.
Hey, stupid! I get it to try and look towards me. A 12.
A 12 exactly hits. That is the armor class of a ghoul. Fun to play at level 1, huh?
Yeah. I was like, there's no fucking way.
I'm screwed. No, don't worry. You hit.
Okay, D4 plus my dex mod. That is 5 damage. I will use Fury of the Small, which I got back on my short rest. However, now this is only 1 extra damage since I'm leveled down, and so that is going to be 6 damage to the ghoul. I sling this rock his way, and then despite the fact that Clover is like clearly very unwell and almost paralyzed, I say to her, "No wonder you don't have a weapon. You're a bard. Didn't anyone ever tell you that stories don't cut like steel does?"
What are you talking about? I'm just a single mom who works several jobs, who loves her kids and never stops.
Good for you. We should get out of this dungeon then.
That is, I believe you dealt 8 damage on your first turn, correct?
Yes.
Yes, so you've now dealt a total of 14 damage to this creature. It is looking hurt.
Okay.
It's semi-incorporeal already, and you see as you hit it, there is like kind of this burst of this sickly, like dark blood that like kind of disappears into smoke, and the creature kind of reels back as this pellet just shoots through it, creating this opening. That is now her turn. She looks at this creature, and you see there's a twinkle in her eye, and she goes, "Just stop!" And you see her voice kind of echoes with some sort of magical effect. It does kind of look that she's not intentionally doing any sort of casting. This is just like her presence working in this way. That is only a 7 on the save. Adds nothing to the bonus. You watch as this ghoul just freezes in space for 1 moment. That is its turn. It is now your turn.
Amazing.
Finish it off.
Without even looking at Clover, just feeding now off of this like teamwork vibe of having someone there to like balance this battle out, I'm feeling more confident. I take 1 last slingshot, aiming directly at this ghoul's eye. And it's very high.
More than 12, that's what matters.
It was a 20-something. And that's gonna be 4 on my D4 plus 4, that's another 8 damage.
This ghoul had 8 HP left. With your final shot, tell me how this ghoul is sent back to the ethereal plane.
I have fought so many ghouls before. They've been like wisps that I cut down without even a blink of an eye. This is the first time that one's truly given me any kind of challenge, and so the rock that I sling at it goes with such speed and velocity because I'm so shaking and angry that I think once the rock goes through, it just dissipates in this cloud of fog.
Yeah, it literally like pierces through its head and takes with it the rest of its form, just like kind of blasting this black smoke away, dissipating this ghoul.
You good?
You see she's panting. She looks a bit scared, a bit rattled. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine.
Hey, you are new, huh? I come over to Clover and I'll say, can I touch you?
Sure.
And I think I take the like coolness of my armor, like in this cold dungeon with this ghoul having been around us. I think my armor is like icy cold against my own skin, and I kind of just press my forearm up against like where her vagus nerve would be, like right against the center of her chest bone, and I say, just breathe into the cold for a second.
She kind of winces and breathes in shakily, looking at you. Her red eyes meet your amber ones, and the two of you hold a gaze for a moment, and she kind of holds her breath, and then... Thanks. This ain't my first rodeo, but I don't know, I just don't have much of a taste for these kind of things.
Be easier if you ate some protein. And then I just pick up that bundle of arrows again and keep it moving.
You pick up that bundle of arrows and continue to march on your way out of this section of jail cells, deeper into the dungeon. Let's roll another d6.
1.
1 again. Okay, roll another d6.
3.
As you move through the halls of the dungeon, you continue to ruminate on just how long you were out of commission and why you were brought back now. The hallway slants upwards, and you and Clover are forced to crawl on this sort of awkward angle for about like 100 or so feet before coming to a closed stone barrier. You see Clover kind of curses under her breath. Shit, must have reset.
Is this here on your way down?
Yeah, I mean, this thing opened up, as you can see, created this slide. It must have reset and closed. I figured maybe we can use it to kind of pop up, skip a few levels, but we'd have to probably trigger it or force it open. Or we can turn back and find a new path. Up to you, since you have so much experience and all that.
I give it, I think, a quick rap with my knuckle, just in the off case that there happens to be like another adventurer on the other side. I don't think that I saw a lot of people in Grimgrave's lair as we came down here, but maybe we might have passed like 1 or 2 other people.
Outside of like the sacrifices, the only other people you had encountered were cultists, but it's very possible that other adventurers would be following in here. You know that like when you left the last town swearing to go on this quest, many were kind of inspired by that, and you part of you maybe thinks like, yeah, maybe I gave people the confidence to take on this dungeon too, so maybe there's still people here. You go and you rap on the stone, the thin stone reverberating. Give me a perception check.
Okay. 14.
You put your ear to it as soon as you finish tapping, and you hear kind of like a fluttering noise.
Birds or something.
Think we should press through?
I mean, do you have an idea how?
She is going to do an investigation check.
Yeah, I'll try and do a strength check too and see if I can get my fingernails up under it. I'd say if I had my short sword, I'd wedge it under.
You start doing that as she inspects it. Tell me what you roll.
7.
You're kind of trying to push up on it as she inspects it. She rolled a 13. It was a DC 11 investigation check. She scans it and goes, I guess in theory you can kind of force it open if you can find the hinge down here. And as you do that, you press the 7 and you hear the stone kind of hit this hinge, and it does indeed activate this trap, but you have a chance.
It's never good when you tell me that something good happens when I roll low.
Why don't you roll a dexterity saving throw?
Okay, I'll do that.
What was that you got there? You were quiet for a little.
It feels like we should maybe just take this up another day. It's a nat 1.
The ground shifts to a hard slant and you rocket down.
So loud, just it sounds like when someone gets married and there's tin cans on the back of their car. It's like my armor.
Just like insane crashing noises. And you see Clover manages to like kind of hold herself dexterously against the walls. You did manage to like reveal how to open the trap back up, but in the process you did trigger it. You rocket down the stairs. You're gonna take 6 damage.
I'm at 2 hit points again, Noah. I've been at 2 hit points 3 times this episode.
God damn it! You see, she looks down at you, and as she does, you also still kind of hear an intense amount of flapping on the other side of that stone now.
Sounds like a lot of fucking birds.
She slides down, kind of helps pick you up. Maybe we should go a different route. I'm a little worried about what's on the other side there. You look a little rough for wear.
Yeah, unless you feel like giving me another one of those potions. Probably not in any fitting shape to fight anything with wings.
I can certainly give you one, or I guess we can take another rest if you want.
I think Jassifer feels like a marked level of shame at this, but she holds her hand out and says, I'll restock you once we get up top. Although I guess I'm broke now, so.
She kind of looks at you, sees you're worse for wear, but sees that you're trying and goes, look, this one's on the house. Just don't tell Odessa I gave it to you, okay?
Yeah, thanks.
Hands you this potion filled with this ruby red liquid. You pop it open and you are healed for 7 HP. So you're at 9 now.
Let's press on, and we are going to choose another way.
Okay. Roll another d6.
Okay. 2.
2. Again, roll another d6.
5.
The two of you creep through these halls, the memories of the dungeon's horrors fresh in your mind. You remember fighting off cultist mages and undead minions, glyphs of warding exploding with necromantic energy. This is indeed a dangerous place. All sorts of terrible creatures lurked in the maze of this seemingly now abandoned dungeon. A few hours of silence pass between the two of you as you traverse the maze of tunnels, just exhausted, trying to do everything you can to be the most careful when navigating. Your legs are beginning to get weary, though you are not able to admit that. And as you descend and then ascend another staircase, something brings you pause. You enter into a chamber that looks like carnage. Bodies, humanoids, and monsters are strewn across the bloody floor. The stench of death is heavy in the air. There's quite a degree of decomposition in the various bodies of this party that was felled here. So you surmise that this group probably came in after whenever that final battle was, sometime between then and where you are right now. Likely a few days ago was their unfortunate demise. There does seem to be one exit on the other side of this room, this blasted down doorway that literally lies on the inside of the space. Clearly this group tried to ambush whatever monsters were in here and unfortunately was outmatched, or at least ended in the worst kind of draw where everyone loses. There's just scattered armor, weapons, injured folk. You see Clover looks around and goes, looks like we missed quite the party.
This is not a party. This is a loss.
I know, I was just making a little joke, trying to keep the mood light.
Do I see kind of any ambush points? I think maybe as someone who's, done a lot of tactical training, that maybe I'd kind of know where someone might leap out from, like a slot in the ceiling or like a pole column by the door that someone could hide behind.
You start looking around. Clover is also doing that too, so she's going to give you the help action. You can roll advantage on either perception or, if you plan to sift through things, an investigation check.
I'll do perception for now, just from the door, make sure that we aren't about to face the same thing that these poor folks faced. That's a 17 on perception.
Just a quick read of the space gives you all you needed to know. This party burst into this room to take on what seemed to be some sort of monsters within here, based on the remains of the creatures that are dead on the ground, likely some sort of like insectoid creatures, spiders or rust monsters or what have you. They too are pretty decomposed, so at this point just like gross mush and exoskeleton. But you see that this group clearly just wasn't prepared, wasn't high enough level, for lack of a better word, when they launched this ambush, and the tides turned quickly. You see a knight's partially skeletal corpse, armor dented, arms like torn off. You see a ranger, this kind of elvish figure, kind of bent over, neck snapped. And as you kind of scan the bodies, and again, you see like a dwarf and an orc, this mismatched party, not unlike your own in terms of composition, you spot that lying on the ground is a cleric who has something like red dripping from their nose.
Red? Like blood dripping?
The moment you peer closer to it, it doesn't appear to be blood. It looks almost like, it's weird to say, but like Jell-O. And the moment you look at it, it like disappears inside the nose.
I bend down and I look up her nose. As I gesture to Clover and I say, look for any food, weapons, maybe armor for you, whatever you can find.
I'm not really strong enough for armor, but I'll keep an eye out for something. She begins to sift through the things
maybe
as you...
more of those delicious bars.
Here, she reaches in the bag and tosses you a few. You catch them absentmindedly and slip them into your pouch. As you get close, you kind of do that like warrior squat down, get low, and really peer close to the face.
My head goes like fully upside down as I try to like literally peer up her nose like a periscope.
Yeah, you peer up this cleric's nose. It's just this horrible, horrible corpse that you're not really fazed by. Yeah. But it's just like this like horrible, like dead body like looking at you. Eyes like mostly rotted away. And as you do, you see this bright red goo. Sort of this little pseudopod peers out of this corpse's nose. Just reaching out weakly towards you.
I'm going to try and snatch it with 2 fingers, like literally nose picker.
Go ahead and roll an attack.
Okay.
It's an opposed grapple check, so you can either use your, I'll say acrobatics or athletics.
I've got +4, which with my 16 is a filthy, disgusting, boogery, gooey 20.
With your boogery 20, you yank this slimy, like worm-like ooze from this nose, and it immediately is like kind of wriggling in your hand. It's snapping out at you, trying to attack.
How big is it? How long?
It is about, I would say that like it could fit in the palm of your and my hand. So as like a blob, it's probably about 4 to 5 inches in diameter tops. You know, it's like a ball of goo, but as you hold it in its hand and you kind of yanked it out, it takes on this longer, almost worm-like tendril and tries to like snap up towards your nose. Give me a intelligence saving throw.
Ugh, it's a news.
As you say that, she looks at you and goes, "Be careful!" And she's going to give you another bardic.
Thanks. I was actually just about to use her. Can she stack bardics?
Technically, the other bardic happened long ago, so it is expired.
It faded. Okay. Okay. That is an intelligence saving throw.
That's right.
I rolled an 8, so I'm going to use that bardic.
It's a D6.
I rolled a 2, so that's a 10 on my roll.
What is your intelligence score?
My intelligence score? Oh no, you're not going to lower it, are you? Because there's not a lot to lower. It's a 9.
Okay, you're actually incredibly lucky, my friend. This being has a sort of mind-snatching ability. As it shoots towards you, it attempts to go up your nose, and you're kind of holding it, and you feel it kind of literally as it gets close, tiny little tendrils break off of it from the goo, and it's like pulling onto your nose and trying to pull itself inside of your head. Because it only rolled an 8 on the 3d6 to match your intelligence, it is unable to consume your mind, and you manage to yank it away and kind of hold it at a distance as it wriggles and kind of sort of goes weak. It's this attempt seemed to almost be like a last sort of reach towards something that could save it, and now it's kind of wriggling weakly in your hand, almost pathetically, desperately trying to like climb towards you.
I'm holding it out at full arm stretch, kind of dangling it like a red licorice in my hands.
Ew, looks like a dead man's snot rocket.
Oh, I mean, I've seen slimes and oozes and plenty of weird things, but this is just like a gooey... Ugh, I think I just toss it on the ground like it's garbage.
You toss it on the ground, and it kind of splats there for a moment, and then kind of reforms into this little gooey ball that like kind of pathetically crawls towards you. There was clearly some sort of comfort it was getting just by being near you, even though clearly it had some hostile intent here. Why don't you give me, I'm going to say either an Arcana check or a Nature check.
Stupid thing's eating all the brains in this room. We're the first fresh thing that walked in, probably in days. You wanted me to roll, right?
Yeah.
Now on.
You look at this creature. Why don't you give me an insight check and you can roll with advantage?
Yeah.
As you and Clover now kind of stand over it. She's about the same height as you, by the way, though her ears obviously make her taller.
That's a 17 with my -1.
I think that you kind of have a warrior's instinct here. The two main takeaways are that this creature is far too weak to be doing anything to you right now. It has clearly been starved of whatever gives it sustenance for many, many, many days, and at this point was really just making a last-ditch effort to try and get whatever that sustenance is. You assume your mind, but now it is basically a little pathetic blob who's looking to get that comfort once more.
Huh. In my last life as a Battlemaster fighter, there were times where I would go out kind of on information gathering missions and kind of observe enemies and get to know about them, and I'd observe, their skills and their weaknesses, and it feels like that's not like a muscle that is like able to be used in my brain right now. Like I have lost that part of me, but out of habit I just kind of stand there and observe it for a little bit as it sort of weakly wriggles, and then a very, very rare crumb of pity comes up in Jassifer's mind, probably exacerbated by being around all of these fallen people, the like carnage and wreckage reminding her of so many battlefields that she's stood on where people that she's loved and been related to have fallen. And I kneel and unwrap another one of those protein bars, and I'll just take like a tiny little crumb of it and kind of put it next to the goo and just out of curiosity watch to see if it eats it.
You see it like weakly extends a tiny, tiny tendril, little pseudopod towards it and touches it, kind of inspects it.
You're just a cursed part of this dungeon, huh? Don't worry, we're all cursed here.
Slowly but surely it kind of latches onto it and drags it towards the blob, enveloping it, and slowly but surely you watch as it like disintegrates within it. And then after it does, this creature doesn't spring back to life per se, but it does kind of like look a little bit more awake, and it just crawls towards you a little bit more and kind of like sticks to your shoe. Kind of weakly, kind of like, doing that like almost like a cat or like a puppy, kind of doing a little pause on your leg.
I misinterpret. Thing's got a death wish, wants me to squish it. I raise up my foot like I'm gonna squish it.
Wait. I do not think that is what it's going for here.
What? What do you think?
Well, I don't know.
Clearly something came and killed all these people. You think this little thing could do that?
Look, I don't know much about oozes. Again, I'm still new to the DD business, the dungeon delving, but this creature doesn't strike me as like a monster in the strictly traditional sense. I don't know, it looks like it's kind of crawling on your leg like a lost puppy. I feel a little bad about squishing it. But, I mean, it's your judgment call, though. It is a monster of sorts, so...
No, you're right. It's just a little thing, and there's no use squashing every bug in this dungeon. It's not like it's gonna do anything.
Yeah.
And I think that, I don't think Jassifer picks this creature up or anything. I think she just kind of lowers her foot and walks away from it.
You kind of, step away. Clover goes, if you don't have to kill it, why kill it, right? And you kind of taking that information, still in your original decision, you turn and begin to leave this room, heading through the blasted open doorway, and Clover follows. And behind the both of you, unbeknownst to you, but of course our audience knows, that this small slime begins to slowly inch its way after you.
I think that maybe, Jassifer, stops to kind of, fix her shoes and fix her armor and everything, and maybe rifles through a few last things in this area, and unbeknownst to her, a little goo maybe hops into her shoe.
By the time you're, fixed and all settled, this creature is kind of stuck to the back of your boot, and as you march along, it kind of holds there and clings to you. Clover sees it, but doesn't say anything. And so a new hire joins Jassifer on her journey. Thank you so much for listening.
If you enjoyed the show, please follow us on Spotify or leave a review on Apple Podcasts.
Thank you especially to our Eldritch patrons. If you would like to become an Eldritch patron, go to patreon.com/trynottodiepod. At the $5 tier, you get access to the afterlife. That's right, you get access to heaven or hell, it's up to you, via the exclusive talkback show where we discuss what happened during this arc.
You also get access to a bunch of other bonus content like recipes from the show, polls, and other random stuff we're cooking up.
But if you really want access to a bunch of other full-length episodes, sign up for the $10 tier for the content search, where we play out usually canon one-shots, test out new systems, review nerdy media, and really do anything we can to entertain you, our Eldritch patrons.
And of course, a huge thank you to Lore Party, the network that supports us. Lore Party Media is dedicated to celebrating the power of stories that shape who we are. If you enjoy our show, please check out their other shows, which you can see on loreparty.com, or you can just search Lore Party in your favorite podcast streaming platform.
And you can check me out on Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch, all under the username Noah the Infuriator. No spaces, just Noah the Infuriator.
While you're at it, hit up my socials too, Lease vs. Life, that's Lease vs. Life. Follow me on TikTok, and then while you're at that, follow Try Not to Die Pod on TikTok too, where we post clips of the show.
Thank you again for listening, and until next time, try not to die. All hail our Eldritch patrons! Especially Anita, Any Major Dude, Ashley, Becca B, Bugroots, Colleen, Colin, Ian, Eclair, Alana, Emily, Grace, Hope, Jacob, James, Jeff, Joey, Karen, Kate, Katie, Leo, May, Morgan, Nat, Nicola, Paige, Patrick, Roni, Sahara, and of course, our producer Patty, Patrick Bronstetter, and producer Daddies, Drew Bailey, Sam Golden, Becca Mount, and Rose Evelyn Campbell. We thank you for these podcasting powers and promise to raise hell in your names. Till next time, try not to die.